everyone, and welcome to State of the Union. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight as we reflect on the Brandeis University Undergraduate Student Union's achievements this semester and look forward to the initiatives that we will be pursuing in the spring. Current students and prospective students often ask me, what is the Student Union and what do we do? When I tell them we are basically their student government representatives, many of them are surprised. If that's the case, why wouldn't we just call ourselves student government instead of student union? In fact, I did a little research, and of the top 50 schools in the 2014 U.S. News and World Report College ranking, because if you didn't know, Brandeis is tied for 32nd, of these 50 universities, 19 refer to their student governments as simply student government. 8 call themselves student council, 9 call themselves associated students, 2 call themselves the student assembly, 7 call themselves the Student Government Association, 3 call themselves the Student Senate, and just 2 of the 50 actually call their student governments Student Union. Obviously, Brandeis is the first, and the second is Washington University St. Louis. Now, this shows 2 things. First, it shows that I would much rather browse college rankings than study for my final exams. But second, it shows that Brandeis, like it does in so many ways, strives to stand out from other schools and to be the exception and not the rule. We are a student union in every sense of the word. We are a group of ambitious students from all different backgrounds, cultures, and upbringings who have come together with the goals of tirelessly advocating for Brandeis students to administration and making visible, concrete changes to this campus. Unlike other schools, at Brandeis we have the capacity to make a significant difference in university policies in ways that you will hear all about tonight. We are able to directly influence dining, transportation, budget, and all facets of campus life by making the student voice heard. Now, I want to thank all the members of the Student Union this year for being so vocal in their advocacy for students, and I want to thank administration for allotting us the privilege to have this kind of influence. And of course, I would like to thank all of you, the student body, for trusting us to represent you to the best of our ability. Now, this semester has marked a pivotal time in Brandeis' 65-year history. Brandeis is in the midst of many changes as we embark upon the execution of the strategic plan that seniors like myself have been hearing about during our entire tenure at Brandeis. We have already witnessed significant changes to student life, dining, transportation, and academics. And we can expect to see many more changes in all of these areas as we execute the goals outlined in the strategic plan in order to facilitate Brandeis' ascension up that list of college rankings I told you about earlier, and eventually, our university's evolution into the household name and character that all of us embody every day. However, something to keep in mind here is, as a wise man once told me, Brandeis University is bigger than any one person, and we need to stay true to our roots in the midst of all these changes and respect the values and ideals upon which this university was founded. Some of the changes that we have already seen in just the last few months have been the arrival of dining services provider Sodexo onto campus, as well as the arrival of our new shuttles provider, Joseph of Medford. We are blessed to have Sheila McMahon joining our community as sexual prevention and assault specialist, as well as Jamil Adams' promotion to Dean of Student Life, and Director of Athletics Cheryl Sousa's role expanding to include Vice President for Health and Wellness. But unfortunately, we are also saying goodbye to several members of administration who have given decades of their life to supporting this institution and its students, and who have most definitely left a lasting impression on this institution. On behalf of this entire student body, I would like to express my gratitude to Mark Collins, Rick Sawyer, and Mark Spencer for their unwavering commitment to the Brandeis community and all of the students, faculty, and administration who belong to it. All of them will be missed very much. Now, every student union that I've been a part of has dealt with its fair share of unexpected challenges. It's only natural. We were very fortunate at the beginning of the semester to have Micah Lehman step into the role of student union treasurer under unanticipated circumstances and do a tremendous job handling the finances of the 150 or so chartered clubs on campus. Micah and his team of assistant treasurers deserve all the credit in the world for coming in a month late into the semester, undergoing training immediately, and doing as good a job as any of the other 3 treasurers that I've seen at my time at Brandeis. As I mentioned earlier, we have also seen this semester the arrival of our dining services provider, Sodexo. I would like to thank Jay DeJoya, Jason LaPrade, and all of the Sodexo management for making every effort to include students in the changes that we have seen on campus this year, and for their collaboration with the Student Union Senate Dining Committee. I would also like to express my gratitude to Senator David Heaton and Vice President Charlotte Franco, who have been working closely with the Dining Committee and Sodexo to improve locations that are staples to the campus community and incorporate new elements of dining into Brandeis. Students have already expressed great satisfaction about the improved quality of food at Sherman, the expanded options at the Hoot Market, the Starbucks coffee in the library, and the new Dunkin' Donuts in the Village, which opened last month. I would like to announce some upcoming dining changes which we can expect to see next semester and beyond. First, the New York Deli, which we have been hearing all about for weeks, will finally begin construction at the beginning of winter break. Barring any unforeseen issues, the deli should open on January 13th for the first day of classes in the spring. After much deliberation, drum roll please, the deli will aptly be named Louie's. The food truck will be operational after winter break in February and will return with a Whocash reader, so we'll be accepting meals, Whocash and points, no meals yet. U-Stand will be renovated this summer, and Lower U-Stand will be transformed into an all-you-can-eat destination, while Upper U-Stand will include retail locations and potentially fast food franchise restaurants, such as Quiznos. Sherman will be renovated the following summer of 2015. We are also beginning plans to add a cafe to the Science Center. Pete's Coffee and Tea is the option that Sodexo is looking at right now. Finally, regarding the Stein, the survey that all of you filled out was very helpful for the student union and administration, and then Sodexo and the union have presented a joint recommendation to the university that the Stein be transformed into a large-scale sports pub. This project is in the final stages planning with university approval, and a construction timeline will be announced before winter break. We are hoping that the Stein will become the premier on-campus weekend destination for Brandeis students. This semester, Sodexo and the Student Union also co-sponsored an event called Taste of Sodexo, where club leaders were given the opportunity to taste many of Sodexo's food options before purchasing them through catering for their events. Sodexo will also be working with the Student Union later this week to host the Student Union Serves You Night, which will take place on this Thursday, December 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. Student Union representatives will be serving food to students in Sherman Dining Hall alongside Sodexo employees and getting an opportunity to interact with their constituents and receive suggestions for next semester. Another important dining initiative that I would like to bring to your attention is Student Union Class Senator and Director of Communication John Jacobs' project to have more off-campus restaurants accepting Whocash. The goal of this project is enabling students to use their Who cards to purchase food at restaurants in Waltham beyond simply Cappy's, Prime Deli, and South Street Cafe. So far, Carl Subs, Sabatino's, and Treetop have all expressed interest in joining this program, and we are hoping to get Asia Walk and Bontai involved with this project, which we are hoping will be completed by the end of the year. The Student Union has also been working all semester long on constructing the new meal plans under Sodexo. The Senate Dining Committee this morning actually distributed a survey to students on the issue, and within 12 hours we got 600 responses, so that's pretty tremendous. We are working with the administration to finalize the meal plan changes. The new meal plans, which will mostly be enacted next fall of 2014, will include one new element, including unlimited access, meaning students can go in and out of the all-you-can-eat facilities as many times per week as they would like, and we have other announcements on meal plan changes coming in the next few weeks. On another note, the Student Union picked up where last year's union left off in the area of transportation. Last year, the Student Union Finance Board, under Nathan Israel, used the Community Enhancement Fund to extend the shuttle hours to Boston and Cambridge on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as well as added a shuttle to Riverside on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The Union and Executive Board this year has been working with Public Safety, headed by Ed Callahan, as well as the Procurement Office on reviewing these changes and making modifications to the schedule to benefit students. One specific modification which we hope to make by next semester is changing the time and access for the Wednesday and Thursday Riverside shuttles. We'll have more announcements on that in the next few weeks. At the beginning of the semester, the Student Union released the annual course evaluation guide, which we compile every year for students to refer to when selecting academic courses. The course evaluation guide editors go through all the data that is submitted and summarize student opinions about the courses that they have taken. We would like to thank the course evaluation guide editors, Dana Trisman, Jane Tashman, Sam Terrace, and Rachel Mayo, for all of their hard work this summer in compiling the course evaluation guide for the 2012 to 2013 year. This year we also continued our Take Your Professor Lunch program, which provides students with vouchers to take a professor of their choice out to lunch at the faculty club. This year we also included vouchers for coffee in order to encourage even more students to engage with their professors in an informal setting. We extend our full gratitude to Directors of Academic Affairs, Shukai Zhang and Bethlehem Solomon, for keeping this tradition alive, as well as Provost Goldstein, Dean Beeren, and Senior Vice President Flagel for their department's generous support with this initiative. Continuing another student union tradition, the Senate Services and Outreach Committee provided transportation for students home to New York during the recent Thanksgiving break. I would like to thank Services and Outreach Committee Chairs Kathy Nguyen and Annie Chen for taking the time to push this initiative forward. Last April, the student body demonstrated its desire to see the university divest from fossil fuel companies, when 79% of students voted in favor of the divestment referendum. Over the summer, a divestment working group was set up with the objective of analyzing the impacts of divestment and investigating alternative energy sources. This is part of a broader goal for Brandeis to become a more sustainable institution and to reduce our carbon footprint. Next semester, the group will begin researching the ways in which we can pursue socially responsible investment at Brandeis. I would like to thank the members of the divestment committee, including Dean of Financial Services Peter Jamet, students Rohan Bhatia, Mike Abrams, and Colin Mew, alumna Rachel Sewell, and faculty members Professor Valentin, Associate Provost Dan Perlman, and Professor Eric Olson for their work on this critical project. Another initiative concerning sustainability that I would like to mention is the Senate's recent establishment of the Sustainability Committee, headed by Senator Anna Bessendorf, whose goal is to reduce wasteful resource usage and to streamline student efforts to increase campus sustainability. The committee was approved for a Brandeis Sustainability Fund grant to install 60 toilets with dual flush capabilities on campus, and is currently working on an initiative to equip the campus with holiday lights. More updates on that will follow. I would now like to highlight some additional Senate achievements from this past semester, and believe me, there were a lot of them. Senator John Jacob completed a year-long plan to introduce hammocks to the Brandeis campus and install them by Fellows Garden, Ridgewood Quad, and North Quad. The Services and Outreach Committee is also working on the Student Union Bulletin Board outside the mailroom in Usedam. I would like to thank Senator Erica Barnett for spearheading this initiative. The committee also recently held a Meet the Senate event last month to personally reach the community and call for initiatives to work on, as well as provided holiday buses to Salem for Halloween. Finally, the Senate is working on an initiative to implement an email notification system for the mailroom. For Brandeis students, this would faster alert them to when their packages have arrived. I would like to express my gratitude again to Senators John Jacob and Annie Chen for their work on this very exciting project, which we hope will be completed by the end of the year. The other major project that the Senate is working on is our semesterly event, Midnight Buffet. If you do not already know, Midnight Buffet is an event hosted by the Student Union Senate in Levin Ballroom on the last day of classes, where senators give away free food from restaurants around Waltham and toss themed t-shirts to students from the balconies. Midnight Buffet will be held next Monday, December 9th, starting at 11:30 p.m., so be sure to come out and celebrate the end of classes with the Student Union. I would now like to speak about another sensational Student Union effort, Dice Impact, which is currently in its third year. For those of you who don't know, and there are probably few of you who don't know about Dice Impact is a collaboration between the Student Union and the Ethics Center on a week-long festival of social justice. This year, we received 50 club submissions for Dice Impact, ranging from an event where students sit inside a ball pit and compare differing perspectives on race and diversity, to a social justice film festival where Brandeis students showcase their documentaries or short films about their passions for charities and other causes. This year, Dice Impact will take place from February 1st to 10th, 2014, and our keynote speakers will be Kwaku Mandela Amua and Ndaba Mandela, the grandchildren of Nelson Mandela and founders of the Africa Rising Foundation, who are choosing to come to Brandeis to speak about their efforts. I would like to thank the members of the steering committee for Dice Impact, including Student Union members Steha Walia, Flora Wong, and Anna Bessendorf for their work on Dice Impact. And of course, I would like to thank Marcy McPhee, Associate Director of the Ethics Center, for her undying passion for this event and the Brandeis community. Besides Dice Impact, we have also begun the planning for the second annual Dice Day event in the spring. Now, the idea behind Dice Day is that we have so many unique clubs, teams, and individuals on campus, and all of them exemplify what it means to be Brandeis in their own way. We wanted to have an event where club leaders could showcase their Brandeis pride and their school spirit. This year, Dice Day is scheduled for Sunday, April 6th, 2014, and although that is a while away, we have been planning the event since the summer. As of now, our framework includes a parade through campus for clubs and athletic teams, as well as a barbecue for the entire campus community, and a battle of the bands where student performers can compete for bragging rights. We are also hoping to break a Guinness Book of World Records record at the event, which to my knowledge has never been done before on the Brandeis campus. Obviously, we're incredibly excited to be organizing an event of this magnitude during the spring. I would like to thank Dice Day Committee coordinators Bethany Adam and Kelsey Siegeloff, as well as Sarah Pedersen and the rest of the Dice Day Committee for their work on this so far. On another note, I would like to speak about some of the newer elements of this year's Student Union. Last year, the Union began an initiative for more communication with students through a collaboration with WBRS on the Student Union Launchpad show. This year, the Union created the Video Committee in order to inform students in an entertaining fashion about all of the projects that we were working on. Two of our programs are the Senate Spotlight, which showcases senators and their efforts, which you've heard about so far tonight, and the Executive, which draws attention to the Executive Board's projects. I would like to commend James Conlon, right over here, for his filmmaking, directing, script writing, and editing efforts on the committee. James is truly the Stanley Kubrick of the Brandeis student body, and without him, the committee would never have gotten off the ground. So thank you, James. And thank you to John Jacob as well, who piloted the committee as well. Another initiative that the Student Union has been working on this year is our constitutional review. Over my last 2 years in the Union, my predecessors have advocated for simplification and reduction in the language of the Student Union Constitution, because as of right now, our Constitution actually contains more words than the United States Constitution. So wrap your mind around that. Earlier this year, the student body voted to amend our Constitution, adding a mandatory constitutional review every 4 years. The Constitutional Review Task Force, headed by Chief of Staff David Clements, has been working to amend specific sections of the Union Constitution and making changes to the structure of the Student Union, how we fund clubs, and other features of our organization. The Constitutional Review Committee has finished up writing the Constitutional Review, and we will be sending it out to the student body to be voted on next semester. So we should expect to see a lot of changes to clubs and to the Student Union next year and the years following that. The Student Union has also participated in 2 major university-wide projects. The first has been a review of the Health Center facilities. Student Union Vice President Charlotte Franco, Executive Senator Annie Chen, and myself provided feedback on behalf of students to visiting consultants on the Health Center and student perception of its effectiveness. This feedback was part of a report that the University Health Center and Psychology Counseling Center underwent, both departments which will be undergoing several changes in the next year. The first we've already seen with the creation of the position of Vice President of Health and Wellness. In addition to this, Executive Director Anthony Nguyen and myself have collaborated with the Office of Communications on the graphic identity and rebranding process. Basically, everyone in this room knows what Brandeis is, but we do not have the language or the logo that adequately does it justice. No pun intended. The Office of Communications has been working with the Student Union and various student groups and individuals on providing information to 2 consulting firms which will lead to a new graphic identity and logo for Brandeis. We have already held roundtable discussions with the consultants in order to answer the question of what is Brandeis, and if Brandeis were a person, what would he look like, or she? Our next step is we will be holding a town meeting in February to receive additional input from students in this critical process. The Student Union also advocated for the creation of the Gender and Sexuality Coordinator position through a resolution which was put forward by Representative to the Board of Trustees, Alex Thompson. The resolution was approved by the Senate and the Office of Students and Enrollment, which is looking to implement the position starting next year. I would now like to speak about one of the Student Union's major initiatives this semester, which I have not mentioned yet, parking. Simply put, we do not have enough parking on this campus. According to the Department of Public Safety, we have 2,300 parking spots, and we have issued 3,126 permits. So if you do the math, we're oversubscribed. Now, having spoken to administrators on this issue, I learned that this has been a serious problem on this campus for decades. But this year, it has become particularly concerning, and the student body has demanded a resolution to the parking problem. And it's not just undergraduate students either. With the support of the Graduate Student Association and their president, Stephen Alkins, the student union sent a survey on parking out to undergrads and graduate students. I would now like to briefly share with you all some of the survey results, which will reveal a glimpse into the student consensus on parking. Of the 1,600 students who responded to the parking survey, undergraduate and graduate, 80% are either unsatisfied or very unsatisfied with parking conditions on campus. In addition to this survey, the Student Union Executive Board conducted research on parking at Brandeis compared to the other 7 universities in our athletic conference, the UAA. Our findings have indicated that we are the only university of the 8 in the UAA without a parking structure on campus, the only university where sophomores are not given the ability to park, and the only university where faculty and staff do not have to pay for parking. Brandeis deserves better. Now, the Student Union this year has made this one of our chief, most important initiatives. The next step in this process is a presentation of the complete data and research of our findings to administration and trustees, which will take place next semester. We are also currently working with a team of students from the International Business School to plan out a business model for how we can finance a parking structure on campus. At the end of the day, our main objective in regards to parking is simply to make this a priority for administration and for students in the years to come. Now, one final project that the Student Union is working towards is installing a bus shelter in front of admissions. I would like to thank Facilities Project Manager Casey Russo for his support with this initiative, as well as Senior Vice President of Administration Mark Collins and Head of Public Safety Ed Callahan for their correspondence. The Student Union is going to be funding half of this project, and administration is going to be funding the other half. We are hoping that the bus shelter will be completed by the end of the year and will serve as a memento from the 2013 to 2014 Student Union and our efforts. Now, I have spoken about dozens of achievements and initiatives that the Student Union has completed or will complete this year. Quite frankly, these are only some of the projects that we have in motion this year, because I want to keep this to a 20, 30-minute speech, and I don't want to keep you all day. Quite frankly, this is a testament to all of the passionate and driven individuals within our organization who truly care about this university and about its students, and volunteer their time to helping serve and represent all of you. In a few moments, you will hear from senior members of administration about Brandeis' budget and how student tuition plays into all of this. When I ran for president last April, something that I assured students that I would advocate for is more budget transparency. I believe that as students, every one of us has the right to know where our tuition dollars are going, and on a larger scale, to what areas the university is allocating its funds. For this reason, the Student Union has organized this town hall meeting on university budget, which will follow. I encourage all of you to listen actively to what administration has to say and to ask questions. Following the town hall, I invite you to enjoy some delicious fried foods, courtesy of Sodexo, and to chat with your Student Union representatives. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for taking time out of your very, very, very busy finals week schedules to be here with us tonight for a brief time to reflect on the Student Union's initiatives and look forward to the future. And now, I would like to hand it over to Senior Vice President Andrew Flagel, Senior Vice President Ellen DeGraffenried, and Chief Financial Officer Miriam Colina. Thank you.